All right. We've heard many talks about institutional adoption and agents taking over everything, but humans are still here and we're still using DeFi, and we have Dean Tribble to talk about the importance of UX in DeFi. Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Can people hear me? Yes. Okay. I can hear me now. So I'm going to here to talk about getting yield from everywhere, not just for agents, but also for humans. Let's start with what people have been having to do, right? Meet the DeFi tiger, right? They've got maybe even $1 million. They're doing this on an ongoing basis. They've been doing it for years. They are not a beginner, but it is so difficult to execute many of the kinds of things people want to be able to do that they will see yield opportunities and not be able to get to them. The friction inherent in these systems are very difficult because they have to stitch together their own manual tools with all their bridging efforts and et cetera. And as they're doing that, they get interrupted, leading to delays, security losses, et cetera. But with the downturn, right, in this bear market, you know, that chaos of high-flying DeFi yields has been more scary than usual, but stablecoin yields and the stablecoin deployment has barely seen the bear market. And the question is, are you holding stablecoins? Are you getting yield on stablecoins? And to do that, are you having to babysit your stablecoins, right? The process of taking advantage of these 1,000+ vaults out there that have different strategies for getting you yield on your stablecoin is you have to withdraw from one, sign a transaction, wait 15 minutes, bridge it to another chain, wait 15 minutes, deploy it into a transaction, deploy it into, you know, Beefy, Compound, Aave, Morpho, et cetera. And you know, you're waiting, go get coffee, come back, okay, now it's done. But it is fraught with potential for interruption, potential for loss, and a lot of challenge of time that you have to spend in order to make that happen. So really what you want is what people have talked about of much like intents. You want to be able to express, I've got money, I want it out there in those vaults, make it happen. Of course, that requires currently a miracle, but the end game that you want is, I've got the money, deploy it where it ends up on, and you can barely read there, in Morpho on Arbitrum, or Compound on Base, or Aave on Mainnet, or Beefy somewhere else, right? You want a deployment that takes advantage of vaults independent of where they're at. And as the market changes, you want to quickly be able to adapt to that new situation without having to tediously, manually, and riskily reallocate your capital. So that intermediate miracle is what Ymax is here to provide, right? It does single signature deployment, management, execution of your capital, and execution of your strategy on chain. It uses AI co-pilots to assist you in picking opportunities and, of course, deploying them efficiently. And it's non-custodial by design, so it remains your coin. It's not accidentally custodied someplace that you didn't expect. And so I'll show a demo of this. Now, this was recorded recently on a portfolio. We just launched early access, which we'll talk about. But here I'm connecting to EVM wallet on whatever chain my money happens to be. I'm going to pick some vaults that I would like, independent of what chain they happen to be on, right? So I'll pick Aave and Morpho and Compound, and we'll be steadily adding these things. Now I have my selections, and I can just manually move those sliders, or balance them evenly, or enter a number to say, here's the allocation I want. And then I go through, you know, well, I have to add some money, so great, I'll put in $100. And then say go. And that's this is my intent. Allocate $100 that I'm giving you to these funds, right? Sign it, brings up MetaMask or Rabby or whatever it is, and triggers it. Now we could wait for the time on the block to make that happen, but where you end up with is this, and this account is out there, you could look at it. And up at the top you can see it started the process of executing this. Ethereum is slow. Base is slow. It will take 20 minutes for them to finish, but it doesn't have to take your 20 minutes. What happens is, behind the scenes, the smart contract of Ymax created a strategy, a plan for how it was going to accomplish that intent that you provided it, and on-chain, it executed those steps, whereas each of them completed it, animated, and you'd see that happen here. And as it completes, you can even follow the link to Arbitrum Scan or Etherscan or what have you in order to see the transaction as it happened, in order to see your money being deployed into accounts that this contract created on your behalf on all of those other chains. And so what that means is, from the one place that your wallet happened, you could create the portfolio and control it from there. And the assets, they can be anywhere you want, getting yield from everywhere. And so now it's deployed, you can dig further. There's the AI Copilot that lets you dig into the risks, dig into options, ask about what's coming, analyze your performance over time, and as the market changes, look at new opportunities. So let's look at some of that, right? That new opportunities, right? The market does change. The awesome vault this week, someone comes up with a new strategy next week, or adds automated compounding on that extra strategy, or whatever it is. You want to be able to move easily, and that's the place where having a tool that does all of this execution for you on chain is absolutely critical, where you can discover new opportunities, assisted by the AI that knows your positions, that knows your strategies. You can easily add or rebalance things, and each one of those actions you take is a single signature, no matter how many funds we're going to manipulate on your behalf. Okay? And so so the optimization piece, the way that shows up is over time, off-chain agents detect, AI agents detect opportunities that match what you've got in your portfolio, because they have access to that information, and they propose them. So it does one click to say, hey, you could move some of your money from Aave to Arbitrum, one click and it happens. I just have to confirm it, and I'm off to the races. And again, behind the scenes, it will go through that activity. You're off to have coffee. It's off to make you more money. And so an example of what would happen is, here is a sort of a summary when this first started working some time ago, right, of a portfolio. It's got 8 positions spread across 3 chains, 1 signature, and it was all done in 3 minutes, where it could reach out from the contract across highly reliable bridges to pull out funds, deploy them into new positions, move them among chains, and all those things that you currently have to do by hand. And instead, it just does it. Okay, so what's our roadmap look like? Right? We've got stablecoin yield orchestration now, informed by and improved by AI underneath. We will be extending that with continuous asset expansion. Beefy, for example, is in alpha. We will be adding the agent automation, so you can add more of your own agents, you can add more strategies, you can subscribe to more automation strategies, and things that end up letting you do adaptive rebalancing based on market sentiment, changes in APYs, your history, new opportunities available, et cetera. And that moves into additional information integrated in, both available on the AI advisory side and the AI tooling side, and the application itself, to be able to do risk-based management, AI integration, MCP integration, et cetera. So that's where we're going. But the tool right now is pretty awesome. During ETHDenver, the booth is right over there, in this nice, relaxing teal, right? Stress less, yield more, where you can, if you create a portfolio of $50 and keep it there for 30 days, we'll add $25 to the end of it. So it's pretty much the only guaranteed yield you're going to get this week, but it's good yield. So go create a portfolio and give us feedback, and we'll add the things that you need for this. So thank you very much for your time and for your ear, and look forward to seeing you online. Good. I absolutely do.
Right.
I talked fast, so I was hoping for that.
Yeah, you got through your presentation pretty fast. We have some time for questions. Does anybody have DeFi questions or UX questions or comments or suggestions? Anything?
Well, if you pop up the thing, I can show the activity, but nah, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, they popped up
there
the
you go,
activity.
right. So I mentioned you could see all the activity, right? This is the thing that proceeds through and gives you access to everything that's going on. If I were to go to one of these things and check it out, you can see, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty and see exactly what happened, you can. And behind the scenes, what this thing does is when you sign your intent, it creates accounts on your behalf controlled by the portfolio on all those other chains. So if you funded it from Ethereum and said, I want into an Arbitrum pool, it makes an Ethereum account, it makes an Arbitrum account, pulls your money in, distributes it, deploys it into Aave or Compound or what have you, and holds it on your behalf. When you say reallocate, it will do the withdrawals, the transfers, the deposits, the auto compounding, etc. So we're very happy with this. People have been playing with it to be able to go into a portfolio. Whoops. And just edit the portfolio by saying, yeah, I want less of that. I want a little bit more of that. Let's bring that up. Review those changes, make that happen, right? And at that point, suddenly I've got a new vault added to my portfolio on another chain, and I'm good to go. So anyway, thank you all for your time. And if there are no more questions, you can join us over there if you have questions. Oh, you have a question? Yes, sir. Okay. So the question is, when he deposits, where does the money go to? So when you do an account creation, let me cancel out of here. You sign a permit that Ymax can take your money and deploy it. So if you do that on, let's say your money's on Arbitrum, you sign your transaction on Arbitrum saying, hey, add this. Ymax will take that authorization, create an account on Arbitrum that it controls, and let's say you were depositing on Base, it'll create an account on Base. Those will happen to have the same address. It will pull money from that you said it could take into the Arbitrum account and then deposit it across. So and then once that's happened, it'll issue the instruction where from the Arbitrum account, put it into Aave, and from the Base account, put it into Compound or whatever you're doing. And so the money goes from your account to an account on those chains that the portfolio, that the Ymax portfolio contract is controlling on your behalf. Your key, your original key, controls your portfolio through Ymax. So if you say do a withdraw, it will pull from those subsidiary accounts, move it back to the account that you originally deposited into. So it is always controlled by you, so your custody, but it will be in a subsidiary account in your portfolio via the Ymax contract. And it is possible to withdraw those funds with no operation of off-chain services at all. You can withdraw it, in the event that, any Ymax Oracle integration or any of that, if that's all gone, you can still pull your money out. It's your money. The question was, from the accounts that we created, does he still have the authority to withdraw from those accounts? The answer is yes. However, they are not EOA accounts. They are not accounts with a private key behind them. They are smart contract or smart wallet accounts that are controlled by the Ymax portfolio contract that is controlled by you. And so it is indirect, but there's nothing that my company, a third party, an Oracle, or anyone can do to prevent you from withdrawing. So you have access through the Ymax contract to those smart wallets that are created on your behalf. There's no commingling of funds. So it is a smart wallet for your portfolio that you can pull from. Yeah. Exactly, so that you can, on-chain, if I go up here, this has the accounts for this contract. This is showing what accounts did it create as subsidiaries for your portfolio. And so you can go on chain and see, by gosh, what does OP scanner tell me is my current balance of USDC in this account? And I can't focus at this level. It got pulled out. I don't know what, I'll have to dig in, but you can dig in and find where the USDC is and what transactions happened in order to satisfy your deployment. Any other questions? Thank you very much. We take, of course, users' custody of their assets very seriously. That's one of the critical elements of this. And indeed, if you look at some of these other systems out there for doing yield optimization, what have you, what they actually have is an off-chain Amazon cloud service that has the keys. And so if that's gone, if that trusted execution environment is gone, now there's no blockchain on the planet that can return you your funds. And so from a system point of view, the ability to have everything really be relying on on-chain custody is an amazing and important security step. So, all right, thank you all.